Hey everybody, you're watching an episode of FunSmithsInternational. So, now, this is our top 5 favorite movies of 2018. So, we're only doing 5 because obviously we got so behind on this video that this is going to be way in 2019 by the time we watch this. So, that's why we're only doing 5. But we did definitely want to talk about what our favorite movies were of that year. So I'll just go ahead and jump right in. Number 5, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Ant-Man and the Wasp was a very refreshing change of pace after Infinity War, because Infinity War was so intense, edge of your seat. And of course, this movie obviously had moments like that too, but this one was a lot more comical. And on top of that, Ant-Man and the Wasp was everything that a good sequel should be. A great sequel, I would add actually, because it improved on the first Ant Man in every single way. As much as I love the first Ant Man, one thing that I didn't like as much in the first Ant Man that this one definitely proved on was the villain. The villain uh, wasn't necessarily that interesting in the first Ant Man. This villain though, yeah, this film was a lot more complex, and this film even you could almost sympathize with it a little bit, because even though you weren't really rooting for her, of course, but she wasn't just like evil for the sake of being evil. I mean, her motives made sense. You could almost understand. I mean, you know you can understand her frustration. Let's just put it that way. And you know this movie was 10 times the action. The first one, 10 times the humor. I already mentioned, of course, how funny it was. Of course, there's time right in with the Infinity War, and then building up to end game. So that made it like a little more better too. It ties in very well actually. And the new villain and the new characters that were added to it definitely did help expand the story and expand the other characters that already had. I mean, we actually did say we actually dived more into these characters and developed them more, and that's what a good sequel should do. But that's what a sequel period should do actually. But does it always though? But Ant-Man the Wasp was a sequel that most definitely did that. So with that said, I'm gonna move on to number 4. Okay, we got Marvel again with the Black Panther. Okay, so the Black Panther was not only a good superhero movie, but it was a good drama. It really was, and it was a good cultural film. And even though it's a fictional culture of the film, that they behave very much like real culture. And you see, they can be stuck in their ways at times. They have specific things that they do. It's like we want to do it this way, and they kind of realize as the film progresses that okay, well, maybe what we've always thought was the best way to do something maybe isn't always, and you, we don't know everything, and maybe everything the way we do it isn't this is how should always be done. That's not saying that we abandon our culture either. No, no, and of course they do that in the film. They just realize, okay, well, maybe we made some mistakes. Maybe we could do some stuff differently. And what was important about this was we saw that with the villain though. We saw his frustration, and so once again, this was a well-written villain that you could almost sympathize with, because you understood his frustration, but you're not rooting for him at the end though, because like his solution to his frustration is not a good one. And so it's kind of going off what I said about the the Wakandans. They realize that okay, maybe some stuff that we've done is okay. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm rambling here. I don't mean to be, but they realize to some of the stuff that we done. Okay, maybe was it the right way to do something, and that's what kind of caused the villain to kind of arise. But then you see that the way he's doing stuff isn't good either. So the film is presenting that, and this is what the Wakandans is. The Wakandans, of course, have the realization. They realize, okay, well, we need to fix this, and they and they're able to reason with each other. And the villain doesn't want to listen to reason, and the Black Panther is trying to reason with him, and he's kind of cooperating. And Michael B. Jordan played the villain, and he was brilliant in the role. He was great. This movie had a great cast. I love the cast, and of course there is still plenty of humor, and actually just enough to to make it your typical enjoyable Marvel movie. But it definitely stands on its own a lot for the Marvel movies, and of course obviously it's tied into to Infinity War and the Washoe. The film's falling, as we're just building the scale, like we do with the Marvel movies. But yeah, but the cast was great. Of course, I love Tyler Bosman as a Black Panther. I love him. He's great. Like Jordan, I said, was great. Is the villain, and this movie had three actors from Star Wars in it. All three that I absolutely love, of course. Forrest Whitaker, Lupita Nyong'o, and Andy Serkis, who really needs an Oscar nomination already. But I feel like that ship's already sailed. I feel like they've already missed the opportunity to do that. Maybe they could give him an honorary Oscar. I don't know if this more, but it's an injustice because he really is a great actor in everything that he's in. And I think that basically wraps it up. So with that said, I'm going to move on to number two. I'm sorry, not two, three. Excuse me. Number three, A Star Is Born. Now, this is a remake, and actually, I used to think that the original one was the Chris Christopherson and Barbara Streisand, but that's actually not the original one either. That one's a remake too, because apparently there's been four different versions of this now, counting, of course, the one I'm talking about. The first one came out in the 30s. I don't know who was in that one. There was one in the 50s after that though, with James Mason and Judy Garland. And then there was the Chris Christopherson and Barbara Streisand one. So now we've got Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga. So this cast was great. The best actor though was no doubt Lady Gaga, and I'm not even like a huge fan of Lady Gaga or like that. So I'm saying this with no initial bias at all. She just honestly, I thought, gave a really great performance in this movie, and I thought she did a good job singing the songs too. And I think she actually did write some of the songs. Bradley wrote some of the songs too. And I might actually start listening to more of her music now after seeing her in this stuff, because she really was great in this, and her and Bradley performed it at the was it the Grammys or was it the Oscars? I'm trying to remember. But well, anyways, but they did a great job though, and Bradley was great. I mean, of course, too. Obviously, Sam Elliott was great. He got a great performance. All three of them were nominated for Oscars, and all three of them definitely should have been. And it's not always the case either, where they were essentially the three lead actors in the movie, and they were also the best three actors. The the three leads aren't necessarily always the three best actors in the film. The ones that stand out the most. But in this case, yeah, those three were the ones that got the best performance and stood out the most. But I thought every actor in the film did did a good job. And Andrew Dice Clay and Dave Chappelle were good when they were on screen. Lucas Nelson and Brandy Clark were good. They weren't in it as much, but when they were in it, they were good, and they definitely did add to the film. And Alec Baldwin had a very short cameo, but it was very short. It was only like it was probably only like 2 minutes long, but it was funny though, and it still added something to the story though. But it was very very brief though. But I haven't seen any of the other Star Wars, so I can't really tell you how this one compares to the originals. as a remake. But seeing the movie and just talking about this movie by itself, I mean, I think I can honestly say that it stands on its own from the other ones, though, because as a movie by itself, yeah, it was great. So yeah, this is one of the rare remakes that is really really great. I mean, and if it's not better than the original, or in this case originals, it's probably just as good at least. But I would like to go back and watch the other ones sometime now after seeing this. I don't know if there's anything else I want to say about that. I think that's. Oh yeah, well I did want to say a couple more things. But the movie was inspirational, and the movie inspired you to to want to follow your dreams. But not just do that, but find your voice though. Not be afraid to speak up and not be so shy. That's something I can relate to because that's something I struggle with in my life and I tried to get better with. On top of that, it also did have a really good message though about uh, understanding mental illness and helping people with mental illness, especially depression, because unfortunately we do have a fairly high suicide rate in the country. It's gone up in more recent years, and I think it is important to recognize early signs of depression so we can stop that happening. So we can talk to people and get them the help that they need so that doesn't happen. So with that said, I'm going to move on to number two, which was Bohemian Rhapsody. So this movie was inspiring, just like Star Wars War. But what's different about this one, of course, is this one is about a real guy, of course. It's about Freddie Mercury and Queen. It's about real life musicians that went through the same kind of struggle that Lady Gaga's character did, or Bradley Cooper's character did in A Star Is Born. And just like A Star Is Born, it does inspire you to find your voice and to follow your dreams and to not be afraid, to speak up and but of course it shows the ups and downs and the kind of struggles that artist has, and As Star Is Born, of course, I think this one probably did a little bit better, but mainly because it was a true story, so they were trying to guys kind of how the industry works, and and Remy Malek alone was definitely the best actor in the film. He did a great job playing Freddie Mercury, and once again, he was the lead actor, and he's the one that stood out the most. And the lead actor is not always the one that gives the best performance in a movie. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. It just it varies. But yeah, with this case, he definitely was the best. His performance stood out the most. I thought Michael Myers did a real good job with his role too, and of course, without spoiling too much, for those of you that haven't seen the movie, he's playing this kind of big industry executive, though. Sorry about that. It's kind of a big industry executive, and this is where you see kind of where the industry has their flaws, and that they really care more about. A lot of the big executive people like him, they care more about making money than they do the art of music and what the artist wants to do, and Mike Myers did a really good job at playing that. Um, the other thing that I really liked in this movie, though, was this movie also had a really good message about family, what the importance of family, what it really means to be a family. Because in this film, Queen, the band, they were a family, and they have their ups and downs, and obviously they got into fights, and they don't always get along. But at the end of the day, they were a family, and that's family is not bound by blood. We have people that are friends of ours that we've known for a real long time that that they basically are kind of like family. When you're around people for a long time and you know them for a long time, they kind of become your family, and that's a message that's old as time. And, you may think it's cliche because it gets presented over and over again. But honestly, I think it is important to present it because I don't want people to forget that because that's always going to be true and it's just as true. today as it was 100 years ago. With that said, I'm going to move on to number one now. So number one is, what you be mine over? You're probably surprised that a documentary of all things topped this list, and yeah, we were surprised too. But we never thought that we'd watch a documentary that was so inspirational. Because I mean, if you thought the other films were inspirational, and we're great pieces of art, of course, I know I have a lot of movies, and we've said that in other movies that we made, but all these movies kind of work because all these movies were not only real well made though, but that they spoke to us in some sort of way. But I would be lying to you honestly if I said there was any movie that spoke to me more or inspired by me more, or us, because this is not just me, my brother felt the same way too. It was definitely Will You Be Mine Over. It reminded me of the kind of person that I would like to be versus the kind of person that I often am, and I want to keep working on being a nicer person, being more friendly, being better, and honestly, it makes you want to be like Mr. Rogers. I think all of us would like to be a little bit more like Mr. Rogers. We can't be exactly like him, obviously, but I think we all tried to be a little bit more like Mr. Rogers. And remember what he said. We can make the world a better place, and this is a film that we honestly needed right now when it seems like there's so much division and unrest in the world. And Mr. Rogers probably died at just the right time because honestly, he's probably better off not having to deal with everything that's gone on since his passing. Basically, what I'm saying is that we need him a lot more than he needs us. Basically, it's the I was gonna say. I think we need him today in this world. I just, but he's probably better off though because it'd be interesting to see how he would deal with a lot of what's going on in the world today. And with the film we see that even he wasn't perfect, of course, and even he worried, he worried that he wasn't doing enough to help kids. He often worried about that a lot, and honestly, I think he did as much as he could. Really, I think he did the best job he could because he really did help a lot. I mean, I, I definitely think that that I'm better off and I'm a better person, and I'm constantly urging to be a better person, largely because I've had the great pleasure of growing up watching Mr. Rogers, and you know the scripted Mr. Rogers movie with Tom Hanks played it. I think that's supposed to come out sometime this year. Yeah, and honestly, it only needs to be half as good as this one. If it's half as good as this one, then it will be great. But it's gonna be hard to top Way By My Neighbor though because and it was a documentary again. It was a documentary. It was a documentary that was done so well that yeah, bravo to them. I gotta say that. But yeah, I think everybody should watch that documentary because I think everybody would watch it and would get inspired to to try to make the world a better place and try to be like Mr. Rogers and talk to other people and try to get other people and just very simple messages. Sure, you're gonna say that may seem cliched, like like loving your neighbor, but honestly, I think some people, that in the fast paced world have forgotten those things. I think it's good to remind people of those things because even if you do think it's cliche, so it was relevant 100 years ago. Once again, and it's still going to be relevant, 100 years from now. So I think we should keep reminding people of those things, though. But and obviously we only did 5 movies for this list. So obviously, there are plenty of movies that came out last year that we liked that didn't make the list. We're like, we're just going to limit this to only 5 movies, though. But if you guys wanted to know our opinions on some of the movies that came out those years, you could ask us. We could talk about some of the other movies that we loved. We were like, well, we're just gonna try to limit this to 5. There were other ones, that I kind of felt bad when not included. It was kind of like, well, if we include this movie and this movie, then I feel like a certain point is like the list is gonna be too long, and then also we're talking that way too much, and we're trying to kind of get the show going along, and by the time you watch this, it's going to be pretty late in the year. Obviously, we don't want to overdo it though. So with that said, thank you for watching this video, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And goodbye, everybody.